Back in 2005, a group of fishermen that were dredging in the North Sea area ended up pulling up a bison bone, which didn't look too strange at first, but when flipped over just before throwing it into a pile of refuge like they do a lot of times when they find these or mammoth bones and so on, they noticed a scribbling onto it slightly and decided to keep it. It's kind of strange. You can see the markings on it here. It's in a person's private collection at this point, but one day might actually end up being in a museum for you to see, although he has allowed pictures to be taken of it and its recreation of the way it would have looked when originally made. It dates to 13,500 years ago. And this is the recreation of what it would have looked like before, whenever it was a clean bison bone made from a modern bison bone in the exact same way. And the scribbles that are on this seems very indicative of what we saw in the Shigir idol. This is also what would be known as the Doggerbank artifact, or a Doggerbank artifact, for it's found there whenever they were dredging. Much like in America, whenever they tried to scallop dredge and ended up pulling up Solutrean points along with some mammoth bones, which seemed to be associated directly with it. And along the same time, in this same area, a piece of a skull was pulled up, dating to about 13,000 years ago, so it can't be necessarily associated with the exact same find. It seems to be a spread of around 500 years, or at least a decent enough spread with radiocarbon to say so. So here's a multiple view of it, showing you those etched lines that are going into it, and it reminds me of water. People could say there's a flood going on and so on, when Doggerbank actually became flooded up around the Younger Dryas, and this seems to pinpoint about that time when these people would have been on land and left something there. And are they indicating with this wave pattern here something along the line of that this area is slowly filling up with water? It's just a thought. So again, it's in this private collection. You can see it on the top portion here and the recreation that's been done right below it. And again, it dates to about 13,500 BC, or 13,500 years ago, or 11,500 BC, back when Doggerland was above water. I know the North Sea is rough, but people could really do some type of archaeo-investigation with small submersibles and things like that, or there are even divers who can do nitrox and things. It's really not that deep in most cases in this area. Or they could do with submersibles and find some things and then try to involve divers perhaps. The same thing could go on in the Americas too, off that same bank, off the North Carolinas, where they ended up finding the Solutrean points, one of which shows that it came from a schist type of flint that comes from Spain, which is another connective. So again, interesting find here, and it's seems to be an artifact that we can associate with the ancient land of Doggerland and Doggerbank that existed for a while and still has a remnant. One wonders what they might name this thing. I guess the guy that's owning it now might name it. Doesn't really have one at this point, but I'm guessing the scribbled Doggerland bison bone might work good. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Artifacts are just popping up left and right all over the world. Peace.